Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new editor talk video. So today we're going to be talking all about beta readers. It's been a little while since we've done a writing editing video, so I thought it was due time. And this is something that I get questions on probably more than any other topic. And it's something that I see confusion on more than any other topic, and that's completely fair because this is not black and white whatsoever. So everything I'm going to be saying today is really just from my own experience and kind of my own interpretation of this. Just like everyone's writing process is different, everyone's revision, beta reading, editing process is different. So if you're new to my channel and you don't know, hi, my name is Katie. I'm a writer and I also freelance as an editor. So we're gonna be talking about lots of different things to do with beta readers today. I use beta readers with my writing. I do beta reading like services with my editing. So I have a list of things that I wanted to talk about and then I put up on my Instagram stories, a little questions box in case you guys had anything in particular that you wanted to know about. So we'll do the questions at the end because I think I'll answer most of it with what I have to say. So some things that we're gonna be talking about. What are beta readers? What do they do? The differences between free beta readers, paid beta readers, critique partners, professionals who offer beta read like services like manuscript critiques, different kinds of editors, all of that kind of stuff. When should you use beta readers? Best practices for using beta readers, both from the beta reading side and from the author side, qualifications, where to find them, and then just some general notes. So hopefully this doesn't end up being super long. But first, thank you so much to Campfire for sponsoring today's video. Campfire is a writing software that helps writers stay organized. I used their software to outline the book that I wrote last month. I really love their software. So Campfire Pro is a software. It's a one-time purchase for $49.99, and then they also have an additional world building pack if you're writing a genre like fantasy. They offer a 10-day free trial, and then they also have a 10-day money-back guarantee. So I'll have all of their information linked down below in the description if you want to go try them out. Campfire Pro is awesome because they have so many different tools that you can use to help you with outlining, world building. I know some people use it to create a series Bible. They have character pages to help track all of your characters with details and backstories, timelines to help you plan out your plot points. You can track character arcs. You can use the map to view and create all of the locations in your story. And then the world building pack extension can help you keep track of things like species, items, magic systems, develop cultures, religions, philosophies, languages, and all kinds of features like that. It's a really nice way to keep everything in one place instead of having a ton of different Word documents, spreadsheets. If you're a writer, you know things can get messy and disorganized very quickly, and it's super user-friendly. Honestly, they have all kinds of tutorials to help you learn how to use the software, but after just like tinkering around with it for 10 minutes, I just kind of figured it out myself. So I'll have all of their information linked down below in the description if you want to go try out their free trial. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's start with defining all of these different terms. And again, this isn't black and white. There's a lot of crossover here, so I'm gonna try and explain this in as clear of a way as possible. So let's start. What are beta readers? For one thing, they're not editors. This is a really common misconception. Two totally different things, two totally different roles. So the ones that I'm gonna be talking about today are beta readers who are free. They don't charge you anything. Beta readers who you pay. Critique partners, again, this should be free. It's basically like a trading system. You critique my work, I critique your work in exchange. Then you have professionals who offer beta read like services. This is often called like a manuscript critique or a manuscript evaluation. This is a service that I offer. And then you have editors. I'm not going to be talking a ton about editors today because, again, totally different breed, but I just wanted to make it clear that beta readers are not editors. Editors may offer services like manuscript critiques that are somewhat similar to beta reading. People who do beta reads are usually not qualified to be your editor. I'm really hoping I don't end up just confusing you more with this video. So let's start with free beta readers. This can be a mixed bag. They might be writers, they might not be. This is often just someone in your target audience. This is someone who reads a lot of your genre and they'll read your story and tell you they liked it, if they didn't, what worked for them, what didn't. They're not an editor who's going to be able to like dissect your story and really go into the hows and the whys of it, but they can give you their opinion from a reader's perspective saying, this doesn't really stand up to the other things that I've read in the genre. I didn't like it because of this. Things like that. Paid beta readers, again, this can be a really mixed bag. This is often just someone who does beta reading a lot. They might have qualifications, they might not, but more often than not, this is more of a reader's perspective than a writer's perspective. They might also be a writer, but the thing with having a paid beta reader versus a non-paid beta reader, you are guaranteeing that you're going to get feedback, which we're going to get into in a little bit. Finding a good free beta reader is often hard to find. Beta readers more often than not might ghost you. You may never hear back from them. At least with a paid beta reader, you know you're going to hear back from them. They might give you more thorough feedback. Then a critique partner is another writer and you guys like swap chapters, you swap your stories and you guys just help each other improve your work. And then going into like the professionals who offer manuscript critique and editors, those are the people who will most likely have professional qualifications. They're definitely reliable. You'll definitely hear back from them because you're paying them, and they'll probably give you much more thorough feedback, and they'll probably be able to give you more specific feedback as to what's not working, where it's not working, how to fix it, things like that. Regular beta readers, they might be awesome at their job. I'm not trying to downplay them at all. Like I said, I use them myself, but they're often just readers who can offer a second opinion on your book from a reader's perspective. So just briefly on qualifications, beta readers don't have to have any. They're offering to read your book for free. More often than not, their qualification is just that they're an avid reader. They may have done beta reads in the past, but there's no like certificate, education, or anything necessary to be a beta reader. Anyone can say, hey, I'm a beta reader. They're often just someone from your target audience. Paid ones, use your judgment here, see if their prices seem reasonable. I don't think it's unreasonable for beta readers to ask for money because it's a time commitment to read your book and give you feedback. Look to see if they have experience, if they've done other beta reads before, and just use your best judgment here. The best thing you can do is see if they have testimonials from people who've worked with them in the past. And then critique partners are usually just your peers. They're other writers. They might be published, they might not. They might have education, they might not. Again, there's no necessary qualifications to be a critique partner. You're a writer, I'm a writer, we both need help, let's work together. It's a partnership kind of thing. Once you get into professionals who offer paid services, especially once you get into editing and stuff, because that will be much more expensive than a beta reader, that's when you want to look into making sure they have the proper qualifications. But that's a totally different video. I actually think Natalia Lee recently put up a video about what qualifications you should look for when you're hiring an editor. If I can find the video, I'll link it down below. Now let's talk about when should you use beta readers. This will be different for everyone. Everyone's writing process is different, but here's my opinion on it and what I do when I'm using beta readers. It also depends on what you're looking for. There's going to be exceptions to everything that I say. My thoughts on it are you should look for a beta reader once you've done everything you possibly can on your own. That means you've written the rough draft, you've put it aside, gotten some space from it, you've tried to edit it and revise it for yourself, you've gone through it a couple of times, you didn't just like write it and immediately send it off to them. Unless I've had clients who have written like a rough draft or part of a rough draft and sent it to me because they're like, I have no idea what to do with this, is this even worth continuing, help. And so that's kind of a different scenario, but I would really recommend waiting until you have done all of the revisions that you can do on your own before getting a beta reader. This will help you and it will help them. They can help you more once you've put in the work yourself. If it's a really, really rough draft of something and there's so many plot holes and there's so many things that need to be fixed, there's only so much that they can do for you because like we talked about at the beginning, a beta reader is not your editor. And by the way, you should not be sending your rough draft to an editor either. Now you might use beta readers more than once in your process, especially if you make major changes with the first round of beta readers. So I guess maybe an example will be helpful for you. The book that I'm revising right now, it's called Project Z. I wrote the rough draft of it. I let it sit. I did a huge revision by myself. I have videos of this whole process too if you're interested. I think the book was in the third draft form when I sent it to my beta readers. Another question I get a lot is like, how many beta readers should you use? This is 100% a personal preference thing. I think you should have more than one for sure, because if one person says something, it might not be a problem. It might just be like a personal opinion. But if you have 2 or 3 or 4 beta readers all saying the same thing, you should probably listen to them. So sometimes it's helpful to have multiple opinions. I've just found for myself, if I have too many opinions, if I have too many beta readers, it's more harmful than helpful because it's confusing. They are contradicting each other and it's just too much feedback. So some people will use like 10 beta readers. I usually use fewer than 5 in one round. I might, use, honestly, I think I used 3 with the first round of Project Z. And then if I do a second round, I'll have 3 new people. So you really just have to find what works for you. But I think just a good general rule of thumb here is start looking for beta readers once you've done everything that you can by yourself. In like you're too close to the book and you need some fresh eyes on it. Some best practices and ways that you can make your beta reading experience the most effective and helpful. 1, be mindful of their time. This is not their only responsibility, and sometimes it takes time to read a book, especially if you have a long one, so don't go in with unrealistic expectations that they're gonna turn it around for you in like a day. Especially if they're doing it for free and they're just doing it to be nice and helpful, be nice and give them time. And also if they're doing it for free, be aware that you may never hear back from them. Finding good beta readers is hard. Finding dependable beta readers is hard. It's a lot of trial and error. It might take you a while to find some. Don't let that discourage you. It might not be because there's anything wrong with your book. It might just not be a good fit. Their life may have gotten busy. Like, you never know. Again, if you're paying someone, you'll definitely hear back from them, but free beta readers, especially if it's someone that you don't know, it can be hit or miss. I find it really helpful to give them specific things to look for. If you have specific questions on the manuscript, I usually send over like a bolded list of questions that I have or things I would like for them to look for, especially if you have someone who hasn't done a lot of beta reading or ever done a beta read before in their life. They could probably use that guidance because they don't really know what to look for. Also, make your expectations clear from the get-go. My beta readers are awesome because I'll send them the manuscript in Word and they'll usually like annotate it in the track changes, and then they'll also send me like a bulleted summary of all of their notes and recommendations and such. Not every beta reader is going to work the same way. So now let's talk a little bit about where you can find beta readers, critique partners, and all of that good stuff. I'm going to link all of the resources that I can find down below in the description because I have full sympathy for you right now if you're struggling, because it can be hard to find good beta readers. I'm so lucky that I have the ones that I do. So one place I know is a good place to look. There's a Goodreads group. I think it's called the Beta Reader Group. You can go on there. You can post that you're looking for a beta reader. You can go on there and post that you're a beta reader offering services. They have free ones, they have paid ones. There's a bunch of different tabs that you can post it on there. I've heard a lot of people have found success through there. I've used beta readers through there. I think that's a great resource. If you have a platform, obviously you can ask your followers if they would be interested in beta reading for you. Some of my beta readers I found because on this channel I was like, hey, does anyone want to beta read for me? And they contacted me and they're awesome. If you're watching this, hi, I love you. Thank you for all of your help. You're brilliant. If you're looking for a paid one, you can find them on freelancing websites like Fiverr. That's where I started off with some of my freelance services, and a lot of people found me through there. So a lot of people are over there looking, and there's a lot of people who offer services on there. If you're looking for someone with more qualifications and experience and you're looking for more of like a professional critique, a lot of editors will offer services like that. They'll do manuscript evaluations and such, so look on their websites. If you're looking for a critique partner, you can find these in writing groups, your writing friends. AuthorTube is a good place to check. There's a ton of writers on here, obviously. When I was 15, 16, and I was a writer before I ever joined YouTube or anything, I had a couple of critique partners who I found through websites. I don't know if these websites are still active anymore because it's been so long. I believe the names of them were Critique Circle. That's not for a critique partner, but people will critique your work. So basically you can post your work on there and people will click in and critique it, and they get points if they critique someone's work, and then they can use those points to post their own stuff. So it's like a checks and balances sort of system. That was really great when I was starting off and I didn't have any writing friends or connections or anything, and it's just kind of a really supportive community and everyone's just helping each other out. A website where I found critique partners again when I was like 16, I don't think it's a thing anymore. It was called Ladies Who Critique. It might be a Facebook group now. That's another place to look. Facebook groups. I found some critique partners on there and I learned a lot from them. Again, I was like 16 at the time. And you could like post saying, this is the genre I write, this is what I'm looking for, these are the genres that I read, and people could contact each other on there and find critique partners. I think it might not be a website anymore, but it might now be on Facebook. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. So just in general, I would look at Facebook groups or other critique partner websites. And my last general note before I'm going to go into specific questions from Instagram: don't expect your beta readers to be a shortcut, or editors for that matter. You have to put in the work yourself. You have to learn to self-edit. Beta readers and editors are more of a later step. And if you're trying to skip steps and try not to have to do it yourself, it's not going to work out. They're not going to be as helpful as they could be. While they're a super helpful resource and I don't know how I would survive without them, just know that they're not like a magic fix for your book if you're not willing to put in the work yourself first. You want to be a competent self-editor first, which is why I think critique partners are great, because they can help teach you. You can like teach each other. Now let's go to the questions. How to beta read for the first time when you don't have previous experience or education. Like I said, you don't really need any qualifications. If you're a beta reader, I would just tell someone that you've never beta read before and ask them for direction, ask them for specific questions or things that they want you to look for. Really, when you're beta reading, you're just trying to give them your input from a reader's perspective. What type of feedback you as the author expect from them? Is there a contract of some sort? I don't do contracts with my beta readers. Editorial clients, yes, but for beta readers and stuff, no. Again, every author is going to be different depending on what stage they are in their story and what they're looking for. They might ask you, you know, how's the pacing? Did you like the characters? Were there any plot holes? I'm worried about this particular section. Can you look at this? When in doubt, I would ask the author that you're beta reading for some direction. Where would you recommend we post our jobs as freelancer beta readers? I used Fiverr for a while. I do like them. I found a lot of clients through there. They take a very large chunk of your profits, which sucks. So be aware of that. You can post your services on Goodreads. That group, you can offer your paid services in there. I know there's a ton of other freelance websites. I don't have any experience with them, so I don't know. I signed the majority of my clients directly through my website. What's the main difference between a beta reader and an editor? There's so many differences. I don't know if there's a main difference. I think the main difference is probably qualifications and experience. And then also the job that they do. If you have like an editor, someone who is editing your book, whether they're doing a developmental edit, a copy edit, a proofread, whatever they're doing for you, that's a completely different thing than a beta read. So yeah, your editor is going to have qualifications, be experienced, and a beta reader is a reader who's just trying to be helpful. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this helped clarify a couple of things. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments and I'll talk to you guys down there. And I hope you're all doing well. All of my links are down below in the description. If you want to come follow me elsewhere, you can pre-order my book that's coming out in June, or if you're looking for an editor, I have all of my services down below. My schedule is quite booked right now, but as we get further into the summer, I have some openings. I'll have the playlist link down below in the description, also with my other editor talk videos if you want some more content. But other than that, I think I'll just see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye.
So hit me. So hit me. So hit me. First a confession. With you I feel a connection. With